Have you ever found yourself tangled in that classic argument, "That's not what I meant," where somehow the words you spoke and the words your partner heard seemed to live in completely different worlds? Maybe you tried to explain your feelings, but it felt like your listener was on a whole other wavelength. Or perhaps you thought you were being perfectly clear, but later realized your message was received in a way you never intended. This is a scenario familiar to most of us, and it's not just about miscommunication. It's about the way men and women often use the same words but interpret them through different lenses. Today, let's unravel these communication style differences between men and women, and most importantly, discover how we can truly understand each other. Why is it that men and women seem to speak different languages even when we're using the same words? The answer starts with the simple fact that our communication styles are shaped by a mix of biology and culture. From the time we're small, boys and girls are often taught subtly different ways of expressing themselves. These influences grow over time, so that by adulthood, women tend to focus more on connection and emotion in their conversations, while men are often oriented toward solutions and clarity. Consider this. When a woman says, "I'm so tired today," what she's really hoping for isn't necessarily a solution. It's a moment of understanding, a chance to share what she's feeling and feel heard. A man processing the same statement might reply, "Then go take a nap," because his instinct is to help by fixing the problem. But what she wanted was empathy, not a quick fix. This simple exchange is a microcosm of a larger pattern, one where emotional sharing and problem solving sometimes get tangled. Let's dig deeper into the way women communicate. Women usually provide more details, ask more questions, and are more open about expressing feelings. For many women, conversation is more than information exchange. It's a way to build connection, to share the emotional landscape of their day. Picture this. So today at work, there was this meeting and the boss said this, and then everyone's faces just dropped. She's not just delivering facts, she's painting a picture, inviting you into her experience. The details aren't random, they're signposts to her emotions, to the things that mattered in that moment. On the other hand, men often communicate more briefly, directly, and with a focus on solutions. Expressing emotion isn't usually their priority, and the goal is often to deliver the facts as efficiently as possible. Imagine a man's summary of the same meeting. "We had a meeting. It went fine." The story is over almost before it's begun. No extra details, no emotional color. The message is clear, concise, and to the point. For many men, this style feels respectful of your time and theirs. It's not that emotions don't matter, but that the main purpose of the conversation is to share information, not process feelings. So, where do conflicts start? It's often where these two styles collide. When women share more details and emotions, men may feel overwhelmed or wonder what the point is. When men keep things brief and fact-based, women may feel ignored or unimportant. Women often say, "He doesn't listen to me." Men often say, "She gives too many details." The truth is, neither style is wrong. They're simply different communication habits. Imagine this everyday scene. A woman shares a long story about her day, pouring out thoughts and feelings. The man, listening, checks his phone. She sees this and thinks, "He doesn't care." He, on the other hand, feels he already got the point and is moving on. Neither meant to hurt the other, but the misinterpretation sparks tension. Suddenly, a simple conversation becomes a conflict, each person feeling misunderstood. So, how do we bridge this gap? How do we move past these moments of confusion and really understand each other? The key is to practice empathy, be clear about our needs, and meet in the middle. First, let's talk about empathy. Instead of trying to force the other person into your style, try to see things from their perspective. If you're a man listening to a woman share her feelings, resist the urge to jump in with solutions. Instead, say, I get how you feel. That simple phrase can make a huge difference. It acknowledges her experience and builds connection. Next, be clear about your needs. Often, just saying what you need prevents misunderstandings before they start. If you're a woman who wants to be heard rather than helped, try saying, I don't need you to fix this. I just need you to listen. This gives your partner a clear roadmap for how to support you. And of course, meeting in the middle is essential. Women can try to be a little more concise, focusing on the key points when necessary, and men can pay more attention to emotional details, asking questions, and showing interest in the story behind the facts. Both partners taking small steps toward each other can transform communication from a source of conflict to a source of strength. Let's bring all these ideas together with a short example dialogue. Imagine a woman says, Today was so stressful, everyone was on my case. If the man replies, Then quit your job. He's focusing on solving the problem but misses the emotional context. If instead he says, That sounds tough, I just want you to know I'm here for you. He creates connection, not distance. The difference is clear. One response tries to fix, the other tries to understand. So, what can we do day to day to navigate these differences? Start by listening without judgment. When your partner shares a story, tune in to the feelings behind the words. Notice when you're tempted to jump in with advice or to check out because you think you've heard enough. Instead, pause and ask yourself, what does this person really need right now? Help or understanding? If you're the one sharing, don't be afraid to say what you need. If you want empathy, ask for it. If you want advice, let that be known. The more transparent you are, the less room there is for misinterpretation. Another key strategy is to develop your emotional vocabulary. Men, practice naming your feelings and sharing them, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Women, try focusing your stories on the central emotions and events rather than every detail. Over time, these small shifts make big changes. Remember, communication isn't just about words, it's about connection. When you take the time to understand your partner's style and needs, you show respect and care. You don't have to become someone you are not, but you can learn to stretch beyond your comfort zone for the sake of understanding. It's also important to recognize the strengths in each style. The detailed, emotionally rich conversations women often bring can deepen intimacy and trust. The concise, solution-focused approach men often use can offer clarity and direction. When these styles are respected and balanced, they can be complementary, not conflicting. Let's revisit another common scenario. After a tough day, a woman starts describing all the little things that went wrong. She wants to decompress and feel less alone in her frustration. Her partner, wanting to help, starts brainstorming ways to fix the situation. Maybe you should talk to your boss. Have you tried making a list of priorities? She feels unheard because all she wanted was a hug and someone to say, That sounds rough. What if, instead, he listened, nodded, and said, It must be exhausting to deal with that every day. I'm here for you. She feels seen and supported, and only then, if she asks for advice, he can offer it. This shift from fixing to feeling is small, but it can transform the emotional climate of a relationship. The same holds true in reverse. Sometimes men feel pressure to always have the answers or to keep emotions bottled up. If you're a woman listening to your partner share something difficult, you can encourage him by creating a safe space for him to express feelings, even if it's just a few words. Instead of pushing for details, show appreciation for what he shares and let him know that his feelings matter. Over time, these moments of understanding build trust. You start to see your partner as an ally, not an adversary. The differences in your communication styles become sources of growth, not frustration. You begin to anticipate each other's needs, and even the inevitable misunderstandings become opportunities to learn and connect. There's an old saying: the biggest communication problem is we do not listen to understand, we listen to reply. To truly understand each other, practice listening with intention. Ask questions to clarify, not to cross examine. Repeat back what you've heard to make sure you understood. And above all, be gentle with each other. These habits aren't easy to change overnight, but every step counts. Let's talk about some practical tips you can use right now to improve communication in your relationship. 1. Check your assumptions. If you're not sure what your partner means, ask. Don't assume you understand. Clarify. 2. Validate feelings before offering solutions. Even if you're a problem solver by nature, make space for emotion first. 3. Use I statements to express your needs. Instead of "you never listen," try "I feel unheard" when you check your phone while I'm talking. 4. Create regular check-ins. Set aside time to talk about your day, your worries, or just how you're feeling. This builds a habit of open communication. 5. Celebrate your differences. Notice what you appreciate about your partner's style. Maybe you love how he gets to the point, or how she brings warmth and detail to every story. Communication style differences don't have to mean conflict. In fact, they can be a source of balance and strength. When you approach your conversations with empathy, clarity, and a willingness to meet in the middle, you unlock new layers of understanding and intimacy. So, the next time you find yourself in that "that's not what I meant" moment, pause, breathe. Remember that your partner's style isn't wrong, it's just different. Take a step toward understanding and invite them to do the same. If this discussion helped you see yourself or your partner a little more clearly, remember this is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore, like common flirting mistakes and powerful ways to build deeper connections. If you want to keep growing and strengthening your relationships, keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep showing up for each other. Thank you for joining me today. Let's keep the conversation going and let's grow stronger together.